I know Kylo Ren has fans who believe he's a conflicted character, but from what's on display, the best thing I can say about him is that Ren is the first draft of one. In order for a character to be conflicted, he needs to be fighting at least two opposing impulses. At first glance, it may seem like Ren fits his category. He says he's fighting the pull of the light, and that he won't be seduced by the light side. And I actually enjoy the way he phrases that last one. There's a problem though. We never see a single moment that demonstrates Kylo Ren wants to do good. We see him decapitate people, mind rape them, strangle them, throw tantrums, and kill his own father. He shows his inclination for evil in spades, but there's no convincing visual argument to prove he's also inclined to do good. Perhaps there's one in the opening scene. Maybe he suspects something's wrong with Finn, but he walks off and does nothing to him. The problem is they're both wearing masks, and their body language is too static, so you can fill in the blanks however you like. The other moment where Ren might conceivably show a proclivity for being good is on the bridge where he and Han meet. But it happens too late in the story. We have seen Ren do only evil so far, so his alleged inner conflict seems contrived. It's a problem of too much tell and not enough show. Whenever Ren brings up the notion of being seduced by the light, he just talks about it. For perspective, imagine if Obi-Wan had only talked about the Force, if he had just told us what a powerful source of energy it was. And now imagine if that was the only mention of the Force up until the Death Star trench run. Wouldn't that feel like a last-minute cheat? Like a cool-sounding concept that wasn't developed properly? So, while Obi-Wan himself doesn't demonstrate the power of the Force in this scene, Darth Vader does it in the scene right after. And later, Obi-Wan does a little show and tell of his own. There's one more demonstration, and another. So, by the time we're on the trench run, we are convinced that the Force is real. There's no debate to be had, no need for legions of fans to be theorizing on the internet to complete the work that was the filmmaker's responsibility in the first place. That's one half of the problem with Kylo Ren. He's not only unconvincing as a potential agent of good, he's also second-rate as an agent of evil. We meet Kylo Ren when he and Max von Sydow have a confrontation. From the old man's posture, you can tell he's not intimidated. But what matters most is the way he talks, and what he says.
Something far worse has happened to you. The First Order rose from the dark side. You did not.
Doesn't he sound like a disappointed headmaster? Kylo Ren lets him have at it. He never asserts his authority until this moment. Let's examine a similar scene from A New Hope. Like Max von Sydow, Leia immediately tries to take charge, to prove she's not afraid. Vader, however, cuts her off to remind her who's in charge.
The Imperial Senate will not sit still for this. When they hear you've attacked a diplomatic...
Don't act so surprised, Your Highness.
Leia tries again, and although she has her say, Vader shuts her up and puts Leia back in her place.
I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away!
Plus, he keeps her alive because she has valuable information. How does Kylo Ren deal with people who have valuable information? Let's focus on the execution too. Kylo Ren decapitates the old man. A gruesome death on paper, a little too quick and clean on the screen. There's not a strong impact because our senses are not highly engaged. Here Vader is strangling Captain Antilles. We hear the captain choking, and the sound effect sells the idea of his windpipe being broken. Plus, when Vader finally kills him, this sound effect conveys the brutality of the death while keeping the scene free of gore. So, both scenes try to portray the villains as men who are not afraid of getting their hands dirty, yet only A New Hope does it efficiently. Not only by way of sound effects, mind you, but by way of character. Kylo Ren, like most of the movie, is an interesting idea that wasn't taken far enough. The Star Wars gallery of villains, within and without the movies, is impressive, populated by simple but scary villains, complex tragic figures, tireless conquerors, How can somebody as poorly conceived and so ineptly executed as Kylo Ren belong in this exalted company? Well, having low expectations and poor standards certainly helps. So, what's there left to complain about? Oh, plenty. But anything else would be an offshoot of everything I've already discussed. Except for one thing. I need to explain why, in the long term, giving The Force Awakens a pass is exceedingly damaging to the standing of the Star Wars franchise. Join me in part 6 to see why. Until then.